Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is September 28th, 2024, and Joan Laporta has confirmed that Barcelona are in the market for a goalkeeper. Also, the club have sent a message of confidence to Inaki Pena. And finally, it's reported that Barcelona are considering striking a deal with Frenkie de Jong for his departure out of Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before I begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the Goal Kits, Kickback, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. All links are down below in the description. Now I begin this video with the bad news that Barcelona suffered today their first defeat of the 2024-2025 season, and this defeat came at the hands of Osasuna, who beat Barcelona 4-2. And this was, I have to admit, Hansi Flick's mistake, who decided to rotate many of his players, and even though rotations were very much needed because many of these players have been playing for a long time and they were playing matches every 2 to 3 days, and then you have the Champions League match, which is on Tuesday. I think the rotations were handled in an incorrect manner, and as a result, the formation simply did not work. The players did not know how to play together, and Osasuna took full advantage of Barcelona's incohesion on the field. And as such, they were able to defeat us 4-2. And with that, Hansi Flick will be unable to match Tata Martino's record for the best start to a La Liga season in the history of the club, which was winning 8 out of 8 matches. Flick was only able to win 7 out of 7 matches. So I guess Flick will keep the record, the second best record for the best start to La Liga season. Now, Hansi Flick did admit his mistake in the post-match press conference, so hopefully he's going to learn from that mistake, because rotation will be needed as the season continues to progress, but they need to be handled in a correct manner. And I did do a post-match live analysis, so if you are curious to hear my analysis of the match, make sure to check out the video on the channel. And I also did the first watch along in the history of Barca News. I know a lot of you wanted me to do it, so of course I had to deliver, because after all, I do these videos for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. I sure had a lot of fun doing it. I'm sure I'm gonna continue doing it, not during the week for the Champions League matches because I do have to work, but I will continue doing it on the weekends for La Liga matches. Now, more news, because Joan Laporta visited one of the Peñas, and if you don't know what a Peña is, that's an official fan club recognized by FC Barcelona. In fact, I'm a member of the New York City Peña. But anyways, Laporta visited a Peña, and during this visit, he gave kind of a short speech where he addressed several topics regarding the club. And I decided to cover some of these topics, starting with Joan Laporta talking about, how Barcelona are doing financially, how they are improving. And this is what the Barcelona president had to say. The ordinary results, 2023-2024 financial year, that's what he's talking about, are positive. And that is why I can say that the wound is closed. We are increasingly convinced of completing the club's recovery. There are those who insist on catastrophic proclamations that are neither here nor expected. Those who distort will have to work hard to ignore what is being done. So Joan Laporta talking about how the results of this past financial year, which was the 2023-2024 financial year, are positive, and that's an indication that the club has been healing financially speaking. And that's of course thanks to the work that Laporta and his board of directors have been doing. And he's saying that those people who continue to lie and say that the club is in dire financial state, he's saying they're gonna have to work harder because the proof is in the pudding. Now, as you know, Barcelona will hold an assembly, a general assembly with their socios or their club members in October, where Joan Laporta will have to present the result of the audit that's currently being conducted. There's a accounting firm that's doing an audit of the full financial year of Barcelona, so Laporta will have to present The statements, the numbers tell us how much the club spent, how much they made, whether they lost or made money, the debt, etc. So we'll know the details during that General Assembly. And of course, I will be here to cover all of it. So stay tuned to the channel. Now, Joan Laporta did speak about the return to the Spotify Camp Nou, and this is what the Barcelona president had to say. We are working to return to the Spotify Camp Nou at the end of the year or the beginning of the next. Dependent on the calendar of the league and Champions League, we will announce the date of the return shortly. Now, as you know, the Spotify Camp Nou just got approved, or there's a new schedule approved for the Spotify Camp Nou where they can do renovation work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, Barcelona, or I should say the construction company that Barcelona hired, have had a hard time finding more workers, but because of course, you know, more hours working on the stadium, that means more shifts. More shifts means more employees. They've had a hard time finding employees. They've had to bring employees from outside of Catalonia. And as a result, there has been a delay in the renovation of the Camp Nou, where it doesn't look like Barcelona will be back in the Camp Nou by the end of this year. The board are still hopeful that Barcelona will be able to play at the Camp Nou at the beginning of next year, but some reports are saying that it might not even happen until April. But Joan Laporta is saying that he will announce a date pretty soon. He'll be curious to see whether that's going to happen during the assembly, during the General Assembly in October. And again, I will be covering it, so make sure to be on the lookout for that video. Now, Joan Laporta also talked about the levers and how those helped bring more investment. And this is what the Barcelona president had to say. With the levers, we give strength to the club. The strength of the club is very great, and that allowed us to find sponsors and investors. We made the lever of TV, which was the sale in 2022 of 25% of the rights of La Liga to 6th Street for 25 years. But the situation was so bad that it was necessary to do more things. So Joan Laporta defending the activation of the levers, which was to sell part of Barcelona's assets to other parties in exchange of money, of course. And he's explaining that the club situation was so bad they had to sell those assets to bring in money to improve the situation of the club. And then that improvement attracted then more sponsors, more investors, because of course sponsors, investors, they don't want to invest in companies, because technically Barcelona is a company, or businesses that are doing bad. So Laporta explained that the reason why he did those levers was to improve the situation of the club, which then in turn attracted more investment, more sponsors, which then improved the situation of the club even more. It's pretty much, he's saying it's a snowball effect, right? You have to spend money in order to make money. Now, the final thing I do want to cover is Laporta's words in regards to a goalkeeper, because the Barcelona president did confirm that the club are in the market for a new goalkeeper, and this is what Joan Laporta had to say. We are working so that the goal does not suffer. And who is looking for him? Deco, who has gone through his difficulties. So Joan Laporta not necessarily confirming who will Barcelona sign, but confirming that Deco is indeed in the market looking for a goalkeeper. And of course, by now we know who it's gonna be. It's going to be no other than this guy, Wojciech Szczęsny, who will arrive in Barcelona on Monday. He will undergo his medical exam and he will sign his contract, because him and Barcelona have already agreed to all the terms. So Szczęsny will become Barcelona's next goalkeeper. And of course, speaking of goalkeepers, it's reported that Barcelona have sent a message of support, of trust in Inaki Pena. Because as you know, as you can imagine, Inaki Pena is probably, feeling a little bit worried, like saying, okay, I'm supposed to be the goalkeeper, but now they're talking about bringing someone else. So the club have told him that don't worry, you're still going to be the starting goalkeeper, that Szczęsny is only coming here, to be a reinforcement. We'll see how that works, because I think once Szczęsny gets back into the routine, gets back his conditioning, gets back into competitive form, I'm sure he's going to be competing and most likely even end up taking the spot of Inaki Pena, because after all, even though Inaki Pena, I think he is a pretty good backup goalkeeper, he's definitely not a starting goalkeeper. He has the level to be a backup goalkeeper, but not the level to be a starting goalkeeper for Barcelona. So I have no doubts that Szczęsny will definitely be competing for that spot, and well, most likely could end up taking it away from Inaki Pena. Now we will end today's video with the news that Barcelona are reportedly contemplating striking a deal with Frenkie de Jong for his departure this upcoming summer. Now, as you know, Frenkie de Jong's contract expires in the summer of 2026. Barcelona have sent him a contract renewal offer many months ago, offering the player to extend his contract and also, kind of deferring his salary to give Barcelona some breathing room, because Frenkie de Jong has the highest salary currently on the squad. However, Frenkie de Jong has not responded to this renewal offer, has completely ignored it, has not said yes, has not said no. He's not even told Barcelona, hey, I received it, I'll look at it later. Absolutely nothing. He has completely ignored it, which that, of course, has upset Barcelona because, at least have the decency, have the respect of picking up the phone and saying, look, I don't want it, or yes, I want it, or let's continue negotiating something, but at least respond to it. But it's reported now that Barcelona are contemplating striking a deal with Frenkie de Jong for his departure, which would include paying his entire deferred salary now in order for him to leave next summer. Now, as you know, Frenkie de Jong did agree to defer his salary back when the pandemic first started in order to help the club. He deferred his salary over several years, so Barcelona are paying him, every year part of that salary that he deferred, plus his salary for that year as well. And while Barcelona are contemplating offering Frenkie de Jong to pay him his entire deferred salary all at once, which is 18 million euros, tell Frenkie, here's the 18 million that we owe you for your whole deferred salary instead of paying you in installments. Here's all the money all together, but, come summer, bring an offer and get out. Now, it is reported that Pep Guardiola is supposedly contemplating signing Frenkie de Jong since Rodri will be out for a long time after tearing his, I think it's an ACL, one of his tendons in his knee. Haven't been able to confirm that news, but, I'm pretty sure Frenkie de Jong will be able to find plenty of clubs who will be interested in taking him on. Now, Barcelona, of course, if this does go through, they would be alleviating their wage bill because, again, Frenkie has one of the highest, well, not one of the highest, has the highest salary on the squad, and given how much competition is is in the midfield, it wouldn't be, the biggest of losses because, after all, we have Gabi, Pedri, Fermín López, Dani Olmo, Marc Bernal, Marc Asado, even Guilla Fernandez, and Pablo Torre. So plenty of options in that arena. So, it wouldn't be the biggest of loss to have Frenkie de Jong leave. It would be a huge financial boost for the club. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Again, I did do a watch-along, post-match live analysis. If you want to check them out, they're on the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.